Alright guys, hello and welcome to another couple of sets in Alchemy League. We got a last minute change here. The set that is first in the title will actually be done second, and the set that is second in the title will be done first. The Otter one is currently creating content, but he would love to be here for when his set is cast, so therefore we're going to put that off until the end. Today we've got, in our first set, we have Oladushek versus Guras Toby Buffus. I'm going to bring up the player statistics now. I'm sorry that I haven't had the chance to cast any games lately. There was a last-minute scramble to get the design released, the design package released for Alchemy League Season 4 Alaska maps. So if you guys can, I recommend that you go and check that out on our specification page for our community's GitHub repository, where me and a group of other people are collaborating to essentially develop a pipeline where we can crank out 8 brand new maps that are thematically coherent every 3 months or so. So let's go over and take a look at the statistics for these players. I'm going to zoom in. So we've got Oladushek. He's up here. He's a Belarusian player. He loves his weird maps. He's always trying to support the custom map tournaments. And then he is up against Guras Toby Buffus, who I do not know as much about. I believe that he is a Brazilian player. So we basically have 17 versus 1900 here. Again, a little bit of a tough matchup for Guras Toby Buffus. Technically a little bit more than 200 elo in difference. So we'll see how it turns out. Maybe he's able to get a win or two in against Oladushek. We've been testing the most conservative version of our handicap system, and we might need a little bit more, I think. And there's different ways to interpret and do it. But anyway, so just know that as we go into spectate these matches, that Oladushek has a little bit over the 200 threshold in terms of an elo advantage, but this is so he's definitely the big dog here, but maybe Guras Toby Buffus will surprise us. We have seen upsets in Alchemy League before. So guys, let's go and check that out now. So we go to the first game. In round 2, the map of the week was Nomadus. So Nomadus, let's hit play here. Big thing that you need to know about Nomadus is you start with this ox wagon. You see that Oladushek has it, and you delete it in order to spawn villagers. So you can see that Guras Toby Buffus has already deleted his town center. And I hope Oladushek knows that you have to delete this thing. He's probably positioning it, trying to unpack it.
Yes. Yes.
Delete cart. Yeah, there we go. So Guras Toby Buffus tells him. He says not sure how to build it. Yes, it is a little bit different, but this is actually better, because the standard ox wagon that constitutes a packed town center in the game is buggy. It is quite awful. It's funny, huh? Yeah, it is kind of funny, actually. You delete it and like a couple of other units die. Oladushek is immediately coming out. He's looking for water. So you start with this cart, and we're looking at Oladushek's point of view here. And there's a couple flares you can see of like surrounding area that is explored for you. And you can kind of move your cart around one way. But in general, as he's moving to the corner, he kind of wants to do some... I think Oladushek wants to invest minimally into fish. He just wants to kind of hide the fish and hope that Guras Toby Buffus builds his dock far away, because this version of Nomad is also landlocked on one side some of the time. So anyway, you start with this explored terrain around you, but in general, this map is probably less explored by your own units and starting exploration. Although, that's Gaia actually. Let's see here. Let's get it over to Oladushek. Yeah, Oladushek's scouting is definitely less than it would be if he had 3 villagers wandering around. He does have this really bad heavy swordsman here. He's got 130 health, but he's got terrible line of sight. But he needs all this health, because with a line of sight like that, he could run right into his opponent's town center. And his opponent's town center is right here, and Oladushek has found this house, so he's going to circle back, I think, and look for it. He's also exploring with this water buffalo. Doesn't realize that the water buffalo can't see anything. So it is possible to lose it. Alright, so Oladushek has built a dock over here. He started with a fishing ship. Both players are Malians. And Guras Toby Buffus is over here, so definitely the dock advantage to Guras Toby Buffus here. He's basically trapped Oladushek in. If Guras Toby Buffus had built somewhere like over here, could have been different, right? Because he could have been coming around trying to find Oladushek. Maybe he goes this way at first, and he's like, ah, crap. And then he's got to go all the way around. And that gives Oladushek time to take fish. So let's see what Oladushek knows. Okay, Oladushek knows that this edge of the map is landlocked. So he may be feeling good about that or not good about that. And Guras Toby Buffus has not found any landlocking. For all he knows, this could be obscured by land, or this could be obscured by land. He doesn't know. He's just getting over here now and finding that this is not blocked off. So he at least knows that. Malian's very popular. Classic Nomad pick. Look, guys, I could have made this significantly different from traditional Nomad. I was very tempted to. But I wanted to keep the Nomad feel because a lot of these Greek maps have a standard map feel to them. And I wanted to preserve that. But next season of the League, the Alaska maps are going to be a little bit more experimental. And that'll challenge the system that we have in place to ensure map quality. So Oladushek with 25 seconds of town center idle time, and he got his town center up later. So right now, Guras Toby Buffus is favored over Oladushek. But maybe Oladushek can make a comeback. He is known for his wild plays. And it might catch Guras Toby Buffus off guard. So Guras Toby Buffus coming around here with his heavy swordsman. I bet he's looking for Oladushek's dock. Thinks maybe my opponent built a dock on the opposite side of this island here. Oh no, he's coming back in. He finds a little bit more beach there. That could be misleading, actually, for him. Could make him think that there's water over here. He's kind of doubling back. Oh, maybe because he saw the sheep. Alright, and then he sees a little bit more beach. But if I were him, I would be, like, beelining it and trying to see if there's water here. But he hasn't done that yet. He's still wandering around. So for all he knows, there could be water. Okay, here he comes. So he's going to scout this forest, and he's probably going to get a good indication that this is solid. Yeah, you can't sail around this. So he figures this out now. Oladushek coming out to gold. He's probably thinking about clicking up. He's getting loom now. And he still has decent food on that board. And he's got almost 300 in the bank here. So Oladushek is going to be first up to the feudal age. Guras Toby Buff is getting housed here. Catching up to Oladushek almost in idle town center time. Guras Toby Buffus appears to be doing a little bit more of a fast castle, slower build, I think. Or maybe Oladushek got luckier with the boars. Who knows? But Oladushek is clicked up first. And what is his plan? He's sending more villagers out to gold. I wonder if we're going to see Oladushek double down and go into fire ships. Seems like this villager is being sent out. Maybe her task is to build another dock so that Oladushek can start to mass produce the fire ships. Does Oladushek know where Guras Toby Buffus's dock is? No, he does not. So he has no idea that Red's dock is right here. For all he knows, Red dock could be over here, or over here, or over here, or basically anywhere that he has not explored yet. So this will actually be very lucky for Oladushek. Now, does Guras Toby Buffus know that Oladushek is building a dock here? No, he does not. See, look at this. It's so close. He could see it. So Oladushek is... He's going to have a little bit of luck here as soon as he hits feudal age, because he's literally right next to his opponent's fishing economy, and he totally didn't plan that. He's going to be up to the feudal age first, and he's going to set his fire ships upon the opponent. And he could probably kill 2, maybe 3 fire ships before his opponent is able to respond. We see that Oladushek has queued up 2 fire ships, 1 from each of these docks, and that'll be some very good damage for him. He's getting double bit axe now, and it looks like we have some kind of strange walling attempt here. Guras Toby Buffus may be trying to wall in Oladushek's stuff. Oladushek is building a watchtower, He is not on stone. This is going to be a kind of annoying watchtower. He will not have the means to build another, but let's check and see. Oh yeah, Oladushek knows where the stone is. He knows there's a stone here. But more importantly, he knows there's a stone here. So he has the option to go over onto stone so that he could build more towers if he needed. So this tower, I'm surprised that Toby Buffus is... I guess he's going to be surprised too. Oladushek out here with the fire ships. He's going to sink his first fishing ship. Toby Buffus just running it to waste Oladushek's time in pursuit. Oladushek coming up this way. Toby Buffus is creating a fire galley. But Oladushek is going to outnumber him. I'm surprised Oladushek is not trying to pursue these fishing ships harder. But Toby Buffus did get wise to Oladushek, and he built another dock back here. Number 1, I think, for his fish, or maybe number 2 for his fish, but also to help him make fire galleys. Okay, so here comes Oladushek. He's like, I know you're not using this dock anymore. Where are those fish? So he's coming to find them, and he wants to kill some fishing ships. Toby Buffus' fire ship is out, but Oladushek doesn't care. He's still going after that fishing ship. He's going after this fishing ship too, so he's definitely trying to savage some things. Oladushek needs to get fletching now. I think he'll try. Fletching would actually maybe allow him to reach some of these villagers, but right now this watchtower is not too menacing. But the blacksmith goes up for Oladushek. He clicks up, or he clicks for fletching. Toby Buffus though is close to the castle age, so as soon as he builds that blacksmith, he can click up, and that is indeed what he's going to do. So we're going to see a case here of feudal age aggression versus castle age greed, essentially. Oladushek has invested a lot more. You can see that Toby Buffus is not even making fire ships anymore. Look at all of these fishing ships. We got 6 fishing ships that are going to die. He just keeps on... Oh, and Oladushek is building a dock over here too, so that Toby Buffus cannot escape. Or so that he can come at Toby Buffus from both directions, rather. Apparently, Toby Buffus' scout has gotten walled in, which is kind of funny. But Oladushek needs to do the damage. He needs to make stuff happen here. He's got 7 military. Toby Buffus has 2 military. It's probably fire ships, or maybe it's the combination of a fire galley. Actually, this scout doesn't count as a military, so it's all fire ships. Oladushek has gotten 6 eco kills, and he's taken 2 eco losses. Perhaps fire ships of his own. I don't think he's lost any villagers. But Toby Buffus is going to be castle age in about 40 seconds. So Oladushek is nowhere near castle age either. So he's sort of in trouble. But, you know, then again, he's done the damage. So now he's destroying this dock. I think he got pretty much all the fishing ships. He just finished off the last one here. So Toby Buffus, what is he doing with Castle Age is the question. Alright, he's going to get War Galley. I think that that is a mistake. I think that there's nothing left on water to fight for. How many fishing ships does Oladushek have? Oladushek has 1... Okay, he's got 5 fishing ships. I don't know that that's worth it. Wouldn't it be better to just drop a castle right here? Or like right here? But he's going to fight for water. I don't think it's worth it, though, because Toby Buffus has already lost his fish. It doesn't matter. He could kill 5 fishing ships, but so what? You know? If he could disrupt this wood line, maybe that's kind of close to being just as good as killing some fishing ships, and it gives him map control. But yeah, he's pretty broke. He's got no food. Where is his food income, actually? What's he doing for food? He's got a fire ship out. Oladushek has used the market. He's bought a bunch of food, and he is going to go up to the Castle Age. Okay, so here's Toby Buffus' food collection. It consists of 6 berry pickers. This lady cannot mine that gold there. This tower is going to prevent it. What is Toby Buffus' knowledge of nearby resources? Okay, so he does know about that stone. And there's a stone here that he could have taken too. I don't know that Oladushek could have gotten in here. Toby Buffus has made a comeback in this area. Actually, I think he's made a comeback on water in general. Oh no, okay. Oladushek has decided to pull his navy over to this side. So he's going to build over here instead. But that means that Gurus Toby Buffus would have killed some fishing ships, and it looks like that is indeed the case. He's gotten 5 eco kills. It's probably in fishing ships. Oladushek with another fishing ship here that will probably get sunk. I would have loved to see like a monastery, 2 monasteries, 2 or 3 monasteries, and a siege workshop. And it looks like Gurus Toby Buffus is kind of finally getting fed up with this tower on his gold mine. He's making a couple of mangonels to chase this tower away. And by chase away, I mean destroy, because towers can't move. Towers are very much immobile. So this watchtower will go down pretty quickly to the mangonels. It just doesn't have the health to deal with them. If it were a guard tower, maybe it could be something different here. But this tower, I don't know if this tower did its job. I don't know if it really was worth it. Sure, I mean, it shot at a couple of gold miners, but it didn't kill anything, and it didn't really prevent Gurus Toby Buffus from taking the gold he needed to do whatever he wanted to do. Oladushek is just getting Castle Age now, though, so I think his darkest hour is over. And the sun is rising on a feudal aggressive empire. So he has to withdraw from this wood line. Notice that Oladushek has been smart about kind of walling this off, denying his opponent the ability to just lumber in with these mangonels and throw a bunch of rocks on top of the heads of these gold miners. So Gurus Toby Buffus knows that Oladushek's town center is somewhere, actually. He does not know where it is. He can just barely not see it with this scout, which is pretty funny, but these mangonels spot it now. And they probably want to destroy it. This castle just barely, I think, does not protect the town center, but if Oladushek gets a range upgrade, let's see if he's got it now. So he has fletching. Yeah, he's got fletching. So if Oladushek got Bodkin, I think he'd be able to range these mangonels. Or because of just castle OP-ness, he could probably range these mangonels anyway. Even without getting it. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, he just killed the scout. Okay, no, he can't reach them. Alright. Well, that's a good win for Gurus Toby Buffus. Welcome. Just like Cookie Pirate showing up to my stream is a good win for me. Welcome, Cookie Pirate. So, Oladushek's town center is probably going to go down unless he can find a way to repair it while using Gabetos. Here comes a Gabeto. Gabetos are good against mangonels, but monks are good against Gabetos. Because Gabetos are castle units. And monks are good at converting and changing the loyalty of a type of unit that only you can make. Go figure, right? So Oladushek is... he wants to mass-produce Gabeto, I think. We've seen a lot of monk wars on this map. Players tend to start close together. We also see a big fireship battle here, as Oladushek decides that he is outnumbered and does not want to fight Gurus Toby Buffus. Gurus Toby Buffus... I don't think he's really gone back onto water. And I don't think... okay, Oladushek has a few fishing ships, but I don't think he's prioritized it. Gurus Toby Buffus is building farms. Oladushek is not building farms. So Oladushek has got 11 villagers taking food somewhere, though. That town center goes down. Oladushek playing without a town center for now. Gurus Toby Buffus with 2 town centers. Oladushek has to pull these Gabetos back, though, before that monk can convert them. So big fireship battle, but it looks like Gurus Toby Buffus outnumbers Oladushek, so Oladushek is forced to withdraw. And we've got some demolition ships coming for Gurus Toby Buffus as well. But Oladushek has a demolition ship, and it gets here first. Gurus Toby Buffus has to run away. Boom. I don't know that was a... I wouldn't say that was a good hit, because nothing died. But it looks like several ships were damaged. So Gurus Toby Buffus with 39 villagers to Oladushek's 41. So I'm not really sure where all of Oladushek's villagers are, but I guess he's got a number of them, even though he has no town center. Which is sort of strange. Gurus Toby Buffus with 15 military, and it's mostly, I think, navy outnumbering Oladushek's navy. I don't know. Oladushek always gets into this situation where he's got a demolition ship that's built behind a dock. We saw that happen to him a lot in Alchemy League Season 1. Poor Oladushek. Alright, so this is big. These Gabetos here are ambushing Gyros Toby Buffus' gold mining. This is a disaster. This could be a game-ending ambush right here. 4 villagers go down to a Gabeto raiding party. Ugh, I hate raids. They're so annoying. Just one more thing you gotta keep track of. Oladushek decides that it's time to rebuild civilization. He's gonna build a town center here on this stone. And maybe we'll see Oladushek, as he's continuing to invest in stone mining, maybe we'll see him build some more castles around the map. House being burninated, dock, fishing ship going down. So, Gyros Toby Buffus here, he hasn't figured out that Oladushek still has a few fishing ships, but he'll find it soon. So, close game so far. I'm very pleased at how competitive this game is. Different approaches here. Gyros Toby Buffus going more heavily into water with monk defense, and Oladushek going more into castle unit. Oh no. Oh no. Is Gyros Toby Buffus paying attention? Because if he's not, Oladushek could flatten... Oh boy. Oh. Oh no. Oh! Alright, so Gyros Toby Buffus getting value out of that, but dang was it close. But yeah, those units they both kill each other very easily. It really comes down to micro and who gets the better shots. Looks like Gyros Toby Buffus converted a Gabeto. These Gabetos want in on this castle. Gyros Toby Buffus deciding that he wants to build a castle here. This could be a mistake. Oladushek will first try to kill this mangonel, and then he'll be able to deny the castle. Yeah, this castle cannot go up because Gyros Toby Buffus has no way of protecting the villagers that are building the castle. Oladushek building a castle of his own. These villagers are just getting picked off to Oladushek. Oh no! No, 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 no! No, not like this, Gyros Toby Buffus. He's sending his monks. He's sending his additional Gabetos. Oh, you know, maybe it will go up. Oh, now he wants to deny Oladushek's castle. He's going to throw there. Both of these castles will go up, I think. Both players having lost a significant number of villagers doing it, though. Oladushek with 37 and Gyros Toby Buffus with 41. And of course, Gyros Toby Buffus has cleared Oladushek off of water. And I think maybe he's starting to build... Yeah, he's starting to build fishing ships again. Now that Oladushek is not on water. This is a wild game, I've got to say. So, with these competing castles here, it's going to come down to... you know, it could be petards. It could honestly be petards. Oladushek is here just attacking the base of this castle. Just getting some free damage in because he knows his opponent doesn't have murder holes. Gyros Toby Buffus greedily investing into a fishing ship upgrade. Gill nets, which increases the work rate of fishing ships. I think that's a mistake. So I would love to see petards. Yes! Yes! Oladushek is making petards. That's amazing. What you do is you garrison like a unique unit in your castle so that it gains these flags, and then you just make petards. And your opponent assumes that those flags are your unique unit. When in fact it's probably just petards. Gyros Toby Buffus is not going into petards. I don't know what he's doing. He could be looking at it from like an Imperial Age perspective. But I think he's trying to get the food necessary to go up to the next stage, but he's not making Gabetos, ultimately. This is the town center here. Gyros Toby Buffus has to be careful. Oladushek could get some more villager snipes, so I think Oladushek is actually going for the fishing ships. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. Look at that. So Oladushek getting a couple villager snipes that way. Oladushek also got Bracer as soon as this castle went up. So like his plan was to destroy this castle in Castle Age. And Bracer can make a difference. Can help you do a little bit more damage. Let's take a look actually. Castle has 11 pierce armor. And Oladushek's castle has 11 plus 2 attack because he got Bodkin. So therefore, Oladushek's castle is essentially doing twice the damage per hit to the other castle because he has that upgrade, which is kind of crazy to think about based on how the interaction with armor and such. Okay, so Gyros Toby Buffus has gotten a single Gabedo here, and I think the plan is to kill the Rams with Gabedos, but currently Oladushek's Gabedos outnumber his, and here comes the Petards now. And the castle goes down. Oladushek did not even need the ram. It was just a matter of surprise! Oladushek is raiding Gyros Toby Buffus. See, he's got an outpost here. Actually, Oladushek can see pretty much everything that his opponent has. Yeah, he's got this outpost here just spying on him. Gyros Toby Buffus has 10 military, but it's all fire ships, just keeping Oladushek off of water. And all of Oladushek's military is on land. So these villagers now are going in a shank train, trying to shank down this battering ram, but they're running into town center, sorry, not town center, castle arrow fire and Gabedo knife throwing. So they're all going to die, which is very unfortunate for Red, actually. Just Oladushek's pressure is just too much for him. I think Oladushek is going to win this game, even though Red had the better economy and had an advantage getting to Castle Age. I think it was a mistake not to fight Oladushek at this castle. Should have made his own petards, or maybe invested more in monks to convert these filthy Gabedo here. And since he sent his villagers up to fight this ram over here, he wasn't able to garrison them to shoot at these Gabedos, and Red calling the GG. Oladushek is victorious, so we give him the first win. Let's take a. It was a good game though. Let's take a look at the next one, which is on Nicaea. Nicaea is one of our totally new maps. It's an islands map. It's inspired by Northern Isles. I'd like to think that it improves on many of the concepts in Northern Isles, but maybe not. Maybe you prefer Northern Isles. Let's take a look. So there are 2-player assigned islands here. A ring of unbuildable rock terrain around the edge of the player assigned islands, and then other taller islands here that have some bonus resources on them. So this map was selected via a discard system. Neither player discarded this map. It was simply what was left over. You start out housed on this map because you start with a transport ship. So the scout on this map is different. It's more like the traditional Greek map scout. He's got 7 attack, but he attacks it. So he has twice the attack of a traditional scout, but he attacks at twice the rate, or half the rate. So therefore he does roughly the same amount of damage. But it can be surprising. He's only got 15 health. So he's easy to kill. And you also start with this transport ship here, too. So landings are to be expected. I'd like to see people build more docks out here. You don't really have much fish surrounding your own personal starting island. But if you get out here to like these smaller islands, there's all kinds of shorefish on them. So it can be quite lucrative. Let's take a look at the civilizations. Gyros Toby Buffus is playing as the Lithuanians in red, and Oladushek is playing as the blue Berbers. So Berber ships are faster, so maybe Oladushek is thinking that that will be a good advantage for him. I'm not really sure otherwise why anybody would pick Berbers. It could be that Oladushek wants to go into stone and tower rush because he loves tower rushes, and then just transition into camel archers, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think it's for the ship speed bonus. I could be wrong. Gyros Toby Buffus with the Lithuanians here, a solid economy civilization. Maybe the Lithuanians, I don't know, maybe they do the insta-dock because they start with extra food, but it looks like he's still chopping this wood here, so I don't really know. I don't really know what the plan is. Cookie Pirate says Lithuanians on this map doesn't make much sense, and that's saying a lot considering how much I like them. Yeah, I agree. I don't really know much. I don't have a good understanding of how the bonuses for Lithuanians affect this or are related to this map. Like, what makes Lithuanians good about this map? I would love to find out. And maybe Guros Toby Buffus will show us as we spectate this game. Okay, Oladushek killing the boar. He weakens it with the town center. And then finishes it off with the villagers so that the meat is nice and fresh. I should point out, guys, that trees have 3 times the normal amount of wood. So this unharvested tree right here, it's got 350 wood. So it's got about 3x the amount of wood. There's not a lot of space on this map. I guess I could have tried... This was sort of before the day... This map was made before override map size command was introduced. So we had to find a different way of having the same amount of expanses of water. Oladushek... What? Oladushek has built a dock on... Okay, on his own island. That makes more sense. Guros Toby Buffus is just kind of loitering there. Well, you know how it is. The Greek islands are pretty rocky. Oladushek now coming over, though. He's got his scout, and he's going to come check out Blue's island, I think. He's going to see what Blue is up to. Let's see what Red knows. Okay, actually, Oladushek has already scouted the border, the perimeter of Blue's island. Let's see what Red knows. Yeah, and Red's pretty much already scouted the border of Oladushek's island. So, what is this up here? Oladushek is doing a sneak landing with his scout. Okay, he's found the dock. He's found a villager fishing here. Maybe he offloads his scout and tries to get a downhill hit on the villager. I see that the transport ship is being attacked. This villager is now being attacked. Red has loom, it looks like. So this heavy swordsman is actually taking quite a bit of damage here. He's going to attack the dock, but it's not going to be too much damage output. Here comes Red. These heavy swordsmen are very good at killing each other. So a single slash by this red heavy swordsman and Oladushek goes down. So Oladushek does not really get much value out of that sneak attack. It maybe could have been something if he had gotten out and like attacked downhill. But it just didn't work out that way. So both players are on their way up to the feudal age. Pretty much a 25 pop build. Remember that Oladushek has 1 fewer military because he just lost his scout. So they're pretty much doing the same build here. Oladushek going onto this gold. This gold is dangerously close to the edge of the island, though, so Guros Toby Buffus, if he is paying attention, could potentially deny that with ships. And then Oladushek would have to come over here, and this gold, dare I say, is actually much safer. Oladushek does have this stone nearby his town center, so maybe he could potentially drive off his opponent with towers. This map is intended to be quite tower-friendly. Guros Toby Buffus's main gold is safer. Further inland, and his secondary gold is out here, so quite dangerous. Let's take a look. We've got 3 versus 4 fishing ships. So Guros Toby Buffus with a bit of a fishing ship advantage. Oladushek with more town center idle time. Guros Toby Buffus has landed Oladushek. And let's follow Oladushek's vision to see if Oladushek ever spots it. No, he doesn't see it. So we've seen this is quite popular. Building archery ranges on your opponent's island. So Guros Toby Buffus is creating this archery range, and he's going to archer rush Oladushek. But I feel that archers are not overpowered here because this map is kind of pushing you towards stone, given the amount that that's available and how far away it is from the town center. Archer under production, so Lithuanian archer rush it is. Guros Toby Buffus, what else is he doing? He's getting double bit axe. Okay, and these villagers are going to build a house. I think it's important to keep these villagers constantly doing something. I'd suspect that Guros Toby Buffus is... I think he's going to do a tower rush here. I don't know how you keep 2 villagers entertained otherwise. Oladushek placing an outpost foundation. Who's building that? Oh, look at this. Oladushek has colonized this other island. He's built a dock on his opponent's island, and he intends to disrupt his opponent's fishing economy. Whereas Guras Toby Buffus is more focused on building land units here. He's got 2 archers. Oladushek comes down here, and Oladushek spots these buildings, so he's going to know that his opponent is up to no good. He's building an outpost here to give him some warning. And he's also building a barracks because he knows he's going to need to make some defensive units. It's either that or towers, and he doesn't want to make towers, right? So these archers have fletching, and they're going to get a villager pick-off. So props to Red, and Red is going to get in here. Oh no! Oladushek is going to have to just fight this. Look at this. He's going to lose. He's got to micro this villager back. No, but he doesn't get away. Oh, this is a disaster. So 2 villagers have already gone down. Oladushek is desperately rushing up a tower here. Maybe he can secure some other stone, but this archer rush has been very successful. This is basically compensated for the fact that Oladushek has presumably killed 2 fishing ships. As he's expanding out onto water. Guras Toby Buffus is in. Oladushek garrisons in the tower. But the archers are camping the base of that tower. So Oladushek will not be able to stay here. He does manage to trap the archers, which is sort of weird. He walls this off and loses another villager there. So Guras Toby Buffus with 5 villager kills. This is pretty brutal so far, this game. And Oladushek has killed 3 things, which I would assume are fishing ships. We haven't really seen... Oh yeah, okay. Oladushek is over here and he's cleared this out. So Guras Toby Buffus has no more fishing ships. And Oladushek has 6 fishing ships. He knows he's won water. And he is building 2 more fishing ships. And he's also kind of building houses on his opponent's neutral island over here. I mean, it's... I say it's a neutral island belonging to his opponent. It's a neutral island that's closer to his opponent. So these archers are just happily attacking the base of this watchtower. Oladushek has to go somewhere else for gold. He could go here, but like his opponent's buildings are all around that. So if he goes there, his opponent will just send some archers over here. He's a little bit in trouble for gold. He's going to get fletching. And I think Oladushek is going to make skirmishers. Yeah, here's the archery range. And here are the skirmishers, and this is how he deals with it. He's going to ungarrison the villagers and help shank this archer. And then he's going to get back to mining gold. So Oladushek, he had to respond to that. But that was a very devastating archer rush. But Oladushek does have water control. Guras Toby Buffus, again, lower investment into feudal age. He does a few things where he makes an archer, he does an archer rush, and you know, to be fair, he kills 5 villagers with that archer rush. So it's not like he didn't do damage. And now Guras Toby Buffus is on his way up to the castle age. And Oladushek will be using the market to get up to the castle age. When he controls a market, he will use it. Guras Toby Buffus building some docks on the back of Oladushek's island, which is sort of a strange choice. These are, yeah, these are aggressive. These are almost like sneaky docks, because does Oladushek look there for the docks? How does Oladushek know to go there? Oh, okay, his outpost tells him that there's a dock here. So, but he pulls back, which is interesting. I'm not really sure why. Maybe he's afraid of taking free damage to a ship that could be made by that dock. I don't know. Oladushek building a... Oh, okay, he's reacting to these archers. He's trying to zone them out. Another villager's going to go down. Poor Oladushek's just getting clobbered by these archer rushes. He can't keep up. Luckily for Oladushek, he is making fishing ships consistently, and he's sort of colonized these other islands. So Oladushek playing it up here and making a naval community. He's just like, heck that land, I don't need that. And he is clicking up to the next age. Villager count, Oladushek has 12 more villagers than Guras Toby Buffus, despite losing 7 to an archer rush. So what is Guras Toby Buffus doing now? He is castle age. He's probably... Oh, okay, here it is. So he's making fire galleys. He's probably going to get the war galley upgrade. Oladushek shanking this villager does not want her to succeed in building this dock, but she will anyway. And now she's trying to get away. This other villager, okay, is there working on that. Shorefish. So Guras Toby Buffus wants an advanced navy in the back of Oladushek's base. That's kind of looks like that's his plan. Fire galleys. Let's get into war galley upgrade. Oladushek mega fish booming over here. I don't know if Guras Toby Buffus knows about it. Let's see if he knows about it. Okay, he did scout that there was a dock here. And he is sending his fire ships. Ooh, that's a demolition ship hit. That was a good hit. This villager's going to go down, I think. Oladushek has finally overpowered Red on this island. And now he's going to kill the villagers. Red coming up this way, though, I think he suspects that Oladushek has fishing ships. That's why he's coming up this way. He's looking for them. No, Red, not this. Kill this. Kill that before it gets upgraded. Doesn't really make much sense for Oladushek to fight this before his upgrades come in. And he is indeed running for that reason. Fireship burning the skirmisher. Well, actually, in this case, it's Guras Toby Buffus who has the fireship tracked behind the dock. Unfortunate. So Oladushek getting gill nets, it makes sense. He's got a lot of fishing ships in play. And Guras Toby Buffus is a little bit on the back foot now. Oladushek outnumbers him and has the same technology that he has now. He may have to transition into farms for food, and that's what he's got. He doesn't really have enough to sustain constant villager production from all of his town centers. So what's the plan for Guras Toby Buffus now? It looks like he's on stone. Is he going to go castle? Is he going to make a castle? Guys, I don't know. I guess he's still making fire ships. Still fighting this. Demolition ship goes up. Does a lot of damage. He's microing this back. You know, so he is investing into keeping these docks going. But building these docks over here doesn't really help him very much. I don't know. Oladushek has just built his fishing economy over here. On this island. He's coming over here and he's taking the fish in this corner. And I don't think Guras Toby Buffus knows about it. Yeah, he's got no idea. He has no idea that Oladushek has an entire naval community of 13 undefended fishing ships over here. If he knew, he would probably build a dock. He'd build a dock and he'd make a couple of fire ships to finish them off, but he just doesn't know. Alright, Guras Toby Buffus building a pretty... Oh, no, wait. This is Oladushek building a castle. Oh, this is not good for Guras Toby Buffus. Oladushek sending over more villagers to help build this castle. Guras Toby Buffus... okay, he does know that that castle is going up, but he does not react to it. Because what can he do? Can't really do much about it. More naval battles here. You know, the KD is honestly not too bad, all things considered. Guras Toby Buffus with 24 kills. Oladushek with 29. I'd love to see these red demolition ships come over here against these bunched up fire ships and just boom, take them out. So Guras Toby Buffus is counter-castling. Oladushek is making some weird camel archers for some reason. I guess that could be pretty annoying. And Oladushek is tower rushing Guras Toby Buffus's gold. Uh-oh. Guras Toby Buffus should make a transport ship and come over here to take gold. No, he can't deny this. He has to withdraw. The camel archers are too many. And by too many, I mean there are 2 of them. The villagers are too many. So he's going to build a siege workshop instead. The siege workshop is in range of this tower, though. I don't know that that's a good idea. And Oladushik is going to build a town center. He is... This is the Berber douche in Castle Age against a siege workshop. To be fair, he has a tower helping out, but still. It's just weird stuff that he does. No lightest, but I didn't really expect any. Toby Buffus has cleaned this up, but he doesn't know about this. He doesn't know about 14 unprotected fishing ships. And I don't think Oladushik has any... Yeah, he's got, what, 4 ships protecting all of that? If Toby Buffus only knew. Relic here, but he hasn't gotten it. He's been too busy with his opponent. I know I would be. Okay, Oladushik accidentally stepping onto this town center arrow fire takes some damage. Alright, a scorpion is out. This scorpion is going to chase away these camel archers. Camel archers have an extra attack. They're a little bit better against scorpions, but there's still not enough of them here. Oladushik building another dock in the back of Toby Buffus's base. Yeah, Toby Buffus, imagine if he made like a few crossbows and parked them here. He could actually kill a lot of villagers. But he's too busy fighting a defensive battle now. Oladushik looks like he is getting ready to go up to the Castle Age. He's taken all that food out of here. I pretty much don't see any... Yeah, I hardly see any fish left back here. He's fished it all out, used it to finance his war machine. Oladushik with another castle drop. This one's going to shut down this town center and some of these farms. This gold, fortunately for Toby Buffus, is not affected. Toby Buffus with 16 on gold and only 86 gold. Where's it all going? He's making siege weapons, apparently. Oladushik is clicked up to the next stage. So this should be doomed for Toby Buffus unless he can somehow counter it. He can, like, get up immediately. That's what he needs. Oh! Toby Buffus's mangonel has denied Oladushik's castle. That's a good win for him. The problem is that Oladushik has another castle and is on his way up to the Imperial Age. I'm impressed that Toby Buffus was able to deny that castle. That's a good win for him. Yeah, there's only 4 villagers. So he's probably going to use these mangonels to flatten this watchtower now. Villagers get into the watchtower just to provide some cover. Now, he's got to be careful because Oladushik's town center can technically range these mangonels. He's got villagers helping out, shanking away at the castle as well. I don't think Oladushik needs that castle to win. Meanwhile, how are Oladushik's fishing ships doing? They're still going. Toby Buffus is none the wiser. The fishing ships in this case are taking shorefish, though. Oladushik fighting that back there. I don't see any more ships from Toby Buffus. I'm not sure. Could be that he's saving his resources to click up to Imperial Age himself. Got a couple of rams, but he's got a ram, but Oladushek wants to shank that away. He's gonna garrison this town center maybe so that he can fire at some of these villagers. Not quite. He's got a garrison in the ram now, so the villagers don't get shot by the town center. The town center's auto-attacking the ram, I think, which is kind of an oversight, it must be. But this is a desperate struggle here that's going to end in about 15 seconds when Oladushek hits Imperial Age. Gross Toby Buffus is not even close. He hasn't even clicked up yet. Oladushek getting the range and attack upgrades. He's getting Bracer and Chemistry. So the plan is to invest in these Camel Archers, probably. Or to get Galleys. Actually, he's building a stable. Why would anybody do that? I think that stable is intended for husbandry, to make the Camel Archers faster. I don't... bloodlines as well. Okay, but he's going to get husbandry as well. Give the Camel Archers more hit points. I don't think Camel Archers make very much sense on this map. There's not a lot of wide open spaces for fast units like Camel Archers to roam. But the Trebuchet makes a lot of sense. Just constantly drone at his opponent's town center. Not town center, castle. Oladushek building another castle here. Intention to continue pressuring his opponent. Or to amp up the pressure, I should say. I mean, he'd continue to pressure even if he hadn't built that. Garrus Toby Buffus is out of stone, so he can't do much with that. It's too bad he didn't branch out. Build a town center on an outlying island or something and take the resources there. I think it would really benefit him. Garrus Toby Buffus is probably going to call the GG. I don't know, maybe not. He's bought some stone. Oladushek with a massive economy by comparison. Garrus Toby Buffus just not finding Oladushek's fishing ships, I think, is what cost him the game. If he had been able to kill those fishing ships when he had the chance, Oladushek would never have gotten to Imperial Age first. Oladushek getting Galleon. Who gets Galleon in a 1v1? If they haven't already won yet. So Garrus Toby Buffus, I don't think he's expanded. No, he hasn't expanded out yet. Just trying to keep this castle alive. I think he wants to make more trebuchets. I don't know, guys. Maybe there's a comeback in store. Oladushek finishing his Galleon upgrade. And Garrus Toby Buffus getting up to the Imperial Age. And then calls the GG. So I just wanted to show he could do it. But good game, well played. Garrus Toby Buffus did a ton of damage in the Feudal Age against Oladushek. But Oladushek outplayed him with that sneaky fishing ship economy. He was able to collect a lot more resources. And with that, he pulled ahead to the Imperial Age. And make trebuchets and eventually tear down his opponent's economy. His water domination toward the end also denied his opponent the ability to expand out to other resources. If Garrus Toby Buffus had expanded out to this island, he probably, well, he would have seen Oladushek's docks and fishing there. So it was a good game. Alright, so let's see. We've got got one more set for you guys today. This next set, we're going to bring it up. This next set is the Audacious Otter versus DJ Pesto. So we'll undo this highlighting. The Otter one versus Turret Bayo. Turret Bayo, aka DJ Pesto. So the Otter one is 1580, it looks like, according to our tournament ELO calculation. And Turret Bayo is around 1620. So the Otter one is not at as big of a disadvantage as Gross Toby Buffus was against Oladushik. He's only at a slight disadvantage. So we'll see what he does with it. If he's able to pull out a win against Turret Bayo. Just have to figure it out by watching. Okay, we are loading. Okay. So it looks like we've got this edge of the map up here, which is landlocked. The Otter one immediately deletes his packed town center. And DJ Pesto has not deleted it yet. Saying, what the heck? I wonder if he even looked at the map ahead of time. He says, what's going on? Apparently they're speaking some foreign language. DJ Pesto finding some sheep. But we've got almost 2 minutes into this game and Purple has not figured out how to unbox his wagon. Okay, and he does delete it now. And he gets his villagers, and he gets his water buffalo, and he decides to build it right here. Okay, so he's kind of on more of the landlocked side, which is good for him, because it means the Otter one is less likely to attack from this direction, whereas the Otter one is here. So I know that the Otter one is a German player. I don't know much about DJ Pesto. He could be a German player. Or he could simply know German, and he could be speaking it to the Otter one because it's the Otter one's preferred language. We just don't know. I do know that there are a lot of German players in our league. It seems like our league is being propped up by Germany, which is kind of funny, actually. For whatever reason. We've got Shixo, we've got Wisnatic, we've got Ween Dinchester, and we've got the Otter one, and if DJ Pesto is German, then we have him as well. So the Otter one bringing in his first boar. He was eating the water buffalo before. The water buffalo has no vision, so you might as well eat him. And let's see. DJ Pesto is not eating the water buffalo, but he's also not exploring with it. So that's smart. He's got a bunch of villagers queued up. Let's take a look at the civilizations and let's analyze them. The Otter one is playing as the Teutons. Makes sense. The Teutons are German. The Otter one is German, so naturally It's match made in heaven. DJ Pesto is playing as the Khmers, which I don't necessarily understand. Why would the Khmer be good on this map? I don't know. Maybe DJ Pesto has some kind of lightning fast castle age build that's planned. And the Khmer can do it faster because they don't require any prerequisite buildings. They can just go up regardless of the buildings that they have. I don't know. We'll have to see. DJ Pesto has come out here and he has docked. So, and he's taking a little bit of fish here, but he has not. Okay, he's just building a fishing ship now. Otter one has got a fishing ship out as well. So the Otter one has twice the economy of DJ Pesto right now. It's a pretty big advantage, I think, considering DJ Pesto started the game after the Otter one did. Started later. DJ Pesto over here, he's focusing on his food, it looks like. So guys, remember that you do have this scout. The Otter one has found DJ Pesto, I think. Maybe. Get back here. No, actually he has not. So we can see this line, but the Otter one can't. The Otter one came close to finding him, but failed. He is looking, though. He's kind of explored this circle around his base, and now he's looking for his opponent. Let's see if DJ Pesto has figured out where the Otter one is. Nope. It's got his scout moving along, but neither player knows where the other player is. Which is fine. I mean, usually on Nomad you don't know. Maybe DJ Pesto will find now, though. I mean, he can hardly see anything. He can't see the Otter one bringing in that boar. Oh, big mistake, I think. The Otter one just told DJ Pesto where he is. DJ Pesto's going to see his scout has less health. He's going to see these buildings here and know that he was about right here, but I guess he just keeps on going. He's not curious about where the Otter one's dock is. I know I would be. Boar coming in. DJ Pesto is now only 9 villagers behind the Otter one. Fishing ship being created. A lot of town center idle time. I would be surprised if DJ Pesto could win this. The Elos are similar, and the Otter one just got started 2 minutes before DJ Pesto did, so it's just a huge advantage. The Otter one wants to take these sheep. He finds them. Does he scatter them? No. Alright, he sort of takes them. He takes some. Oh, that is unfortunate for DJ Pesto. The Otter one making off with most of his sheep. Alright, there he goes. He manages to find most of them, actually, and get them back. The Otter one only managed to steal 1 sheep. I thought the Otter one was going to give him back for a moment. I was like, I don't recognize this guy. But then he clicked them away, which made a lot more sense. So the Otter one is on his way up to the feudal ages, Teutons. DJ Pesto, nowhere close. It's got a bunch more villagers queued. The Otter one is going up to the feudal age at 27 pop. Remember, guys, that the scout does not count as a population. The Otter one has built a barracks. I'm wondering if we're going to see some mischief out of that, or if it's part of his fast castle build. Maybe the Otter one builds like a stable and a blacksmith before clicking up to the next stage. That could be interesting, actually, if the Otter one did some kind of knights build on Nomad. I've seen it rarely before, but I don't know how effective it is. It's sometimes effective against me, but sometimes not, because I also go monks. But I'm also really bad at Nomad, so it's just hard to tell. So the Otter one hits feudal age, and he's got some villagers coming out, and we indeed see a stable foundation placed. And then he's probably going to place a blacksmith foundation. He's got the wood for it. No, stable market. Alright, so the Otter one, could he be going for scouts? Since he's making a market instead. Market, maybe help out his economy a little bit if he doesn't care as much about attack. The Otter one is idling his town center so that he can afford to click up. And as soon as these buildings go up, the Otter one will indeed be able to click. DJ Pesto is on his way up to the feudal age in the next 40 seconds. And then he's going to have the food and probably the gold to click up, and he's just going to go up immediately after that. The Otter one, his villager lead is shrunk to 4 villagers. And he's on his way up to the castle age. So the Otter one is still fishing. He's got 5 fishing ships. DJ Pesto has built more fishing ship, or another fishing ship, one more. He's got 6 fishing ships instead. This lady needs to get back to work. And the Otter one getting some economy upgrades. Oops. And he hasn't made any stable units yet. His gold investment would suggest knights. This is a lot on gold. I think he will make knights. Could be wrong. But I suspect knights. That's my guess. So it's a little bit harder to read what DJ Pesto is going to do. And neither player really seems to want to mess with the other player's water. Which is kind of funny. Oh, wait. I say that and they just both made a fire galley. So they're both thinking the same thing. Like, alright, you know, I'm on my way up to the castle age. Let me see if I can get some villagers for free. Or some fishing ships for free. So DJ Pesto makes a fire galley and he's on his way over. The Otter one is not going over yet. Castle goes up. Or, sorry. Castle age comes in for the Otter one. And he is building a monastery. And he's making knights. So he's going to make knights. He's going to make monks. And I think he's going to do some kind of Castle Age push. So DJ Pesto is making a stable. He has no barracks at the moment. He has just reached Castle Age. And I wonder what the plan is. Is he going to make knights of his own? Siege Workshop from the Otter one. So maybe some monks, some siege, some knights. Maybe something like a Huang Rush with fish backing it. I don't really know. Knights under construction. No monks yet from the Otter one. Maybe he'll make one now. There it is. What is the Otter one's knowledge of the relics? Well, he's found a relic here. And he hasn't found any other relics, actually. Which is kind of unfortunate for the Otter one. Yeah, there's a relic here. Are there only 2 relics on this map? That would be pretty awkward. That would actually be kind of a fail. Map should have more than 2 relics, right? Okay, DJ Pesto is making a monastery. Maybe he sees the Otter one's knight, and he says, "Well, I don't want anything of that." Heavy swordsman there. The Otter one is coming. And he's got a couple of knights. Alright. He's got a monk, and the monk is trying to convert the villager, but will fail. So that's what the mangonel is for. The mangonel is here to roll forward and pressure this town center. Some knights are being created by DJ Pesto. He's probably going to dive in and try to kill that mangonel before the Otter one can do anything. The knights are engaging. Conversion is engaging. Who comes out on top here? I don't know if the Otter one got the conversion that he needed. I don't think he did, because he's outnumbered. What does the Otter one got for armor? He just has 1 melee armor from the Teuton bonus. DJ Pesto has no armor. So the Otter one has to build a new mangonel, and he's got to make a new monk, and he's going to try again. DJ Pesto is going to get husbandry, so that his cavalry units are faster. I guess the Otter one... Okay, the Otter one's going to build this house. I'm just going to heal his knights a little bit. He's made some scout cavalry. What's this? The relic is gone. Did DJ Pesto get that relic, or did the otter one get it? Relics seem to be disappearing. There's a relic here. Okay, DJ Pesto got it. He's got a relic in his monastery. And the otter one wants to steal it. He's got these mangonels working on this monastery. He has to be careful. He knows that his opponent's knights are here. And his opponent wants to relocate and maybe kill these mangonels, but I think he's also waiting to build up a sufficient force to do it with. The otter one with 41 villagers to 37 villagers for DJ Pesto. Similar military sizes. Alright, here it comes. 2 conversions are initiated. The mangonels are pulling behind the knights. DJ Pesto wants to get in and work on the mangonels. He kills the monks, but I think he's going to lose most of his army. He does manage to kill the mangonels as well, and now he flees. Otter One builds another monastery here. He just got Sanctity to improve the hit points of his monks. And he did destroy his opponent's monastery, so his opponent can't make monks for now, but his opponent is going into barracks. That is not a good idea at all. The pikemen will just run around uselessly for the rest of the game. If you have to make pikemen this early in the game, you've probably lost. It's unfortunate, but it's just the reality. Nobody's going to fight pikemen. They can just run away from them. Super annoying. DJ Pesto, however, is sinking the Otter One's fishing ships. The Otter One probably transitioned on... Yeah, he's transitioned on to farms. And Teutonic farms are cheaper, so it makes sense. So, we should also mention that Teutonic units are harder to convert in general. So this could be part of the motivation for the Otter One picking Teutons and making knights. Knights are kind of resistant to conversion. They're Teutons after all. So DJ Pesto is small-walled in his lumber camps. Or at least one of them. And the Otter One just building up. DJ Pesto getting pikemen. He's only 3 villagers behind now. Slowly trying to catch up. Here come the mangonels again. Of course, the knights respond immediately. They have to be told not to dive. He deletes the house. He's got monks of his own. Oh, but he doesn't want to take it. He sees that the Otter One has too many knights. Otter One getting a conversion. That other knight goes down eventually. DJ Pesto's got 3 pikemen in queue. He's coming close to tying up the villager count. DJ Pesto also making a siege workshop. The Otter One... Oh man, these units just wandering underneath the zone of attack there for the mangonels and going down. The knights do manage to pick off the mangonels. They don't really do much else. So the Otter One just lost 3 mangonels right there in a row. It's a pretty tough fight when the knights are sniping mangonels all the time. But the problem for DJ Pesto is the Otter One has an army of knights and he doesn't. So now there's nothing stopping these knights from just running into the back of his base and slaughtering villagers on the woodline. And that's indeed exactly what they're going to do. They slip through here because they can. DJ Pesto is going to lose villager after villager, and I think that this is over. Could have been a different game if DJ Pesto had gotten his town center up at the same time as the Otter one. But this town center is reduced to shambles. And I believe that DJ Pesto will call it GG soon. And there it is. The Otter one is victorious. Takes a game off of DJ Pesto. But this kind of goes to show how important it is to be familiar with the map. And that doesn't mean that you even necessarily have to test the map before you play your competition matches, although you should. But what to do with the ox wagon was described in the component spec for the map. It's like one of the first things, one of the rule changes described. Talk about this ox wagon. Oh, the start is slightly different. But it was back and forth for a while. It was close for a while. But I think that this pikeman switch, this 3 barracks, and then all the resources required to do it, I think that was not worth it for DJ Pesto. And I think that probably sealed the deal. He was at a disadvantage for that town center idle time. But then going into the pikemen sealed the deal for him. It's just too big of an investment. So now we're going to go and check out their game on Olympos. So in the purple we have DJ Pesto playing as the Georgians. It's on the left-hand side of the map. And in the yellow we have the Otter one playing as the Mongols. So Olympos is what's left over after their discard. This was the map of the week in the first round, so it's fun to see it again. This map was made by Q Philip. He is a Polish map maker, and he was able to turn out this map in pretty much a week, which is quite impressive. So he helped us get up to 8 maps, which is what we are pretty much going to go with for the rest of Alchemy League. Like all seasons of Alchemy League ever will have map packs. There are multiples of 8. It gives us the ability to feature 1 map every week if Alchemy League is a standard 8 weeks, 2 sprints, 4 weeks per sprint. So it works out pretty well. The Otter one with 1 second of town center idle time. DJ Pesto with 10. So DJ Pesto already having a cleaner start this time. So Mongols, why are they popular on this map? Well, some people believe that there are lots of deer and other huntable creatures, and Mongols could make a lot of sense because they take that meat faster. Whereas Georgians, on the other hand, have better defensive capabilities or something like that. I'm not too familiar with Georgians. They're one of the new overpowered civs. That's all I know. So I would give the Civ advantage to DJ Pesto, and I would give the Elo advantage to DJ Pesto. But I would give the Otter factor to Yellow, the Otter one. Because the Otter one usually has a trick up his sleeve. That's one thing I've learned to know about him. So I'm wondering if we're going to see either player go for some kind of lightning scouts build. I think we saw Smokey or Lucho do a lightning... Actually, they did lightning archers. We've seen somebody do lightning scouts on this map before, though. Let's see. The Otter one has 3 villagers on wood. So this tells us that he's going scouts. I don't know that it's going to be lightning scouts, but it's probably just going to be scouts. And DJ Pesto... Sorry, he's got nothing that I can see on wood. Yeah, he's got nothing on wood, so it's probably lightning scouts for him. Generally, with a lightning scouts build, you want to put everything you can on food and take just barely enough wood to keep your economy going. You see that we've got a scout fight here. DJ Pesto coming out on top. Maybe he gets the first hit and killing the Otter one's scout. So now the Otter one doesn't know what's coming. Although he may suspect. So let's see. 15 plus 2 is 17. So this is a 17 pop scouts build probably here from DJ Pesto. Which is pretty crazy. I don't think I've actually ever seen Georgians do that. Not too familiar with the Georgian eco bonuses. Maybe somebody in chat can quote them off to me. Oh yeah, that's no problem for the Georgians because they get this that I simply don't remember. I do know that they have these mule carts, which maybe theoretically are some kind of an advantage. They're not as easy to quick wall. DJ Pesto clicking up to the feudal age, and he's coming up to chop a lot of wood right now. He's sending 9 villagers over to wood. He's got a lot of wood to make up. He's got to get up a barracks, and he's got to get up a stable rather quickly. Unfortunately, these villagers killed 2 different sheep. It'll waste a little bit of food for him, but he's got some food to spare for a scouts build. And, critically, DJ Pesto is going to scout. The Otter one has built a mill here. So he's going to know that the Otter one is greedily taking some food, which is the Mongolian way. And that's a good spot for a mill because there are 2 deer patches next to each other. So DJ Pesto going to come back to take another look. No. He's going to just keep on exploring what he hasn't explored yet. So I think what's going to happen is DJ Pesto has chosen Georgians with a lightning scouts build because his plan is to punish the Otter one for going after such far away food sources. The Otter one trying to wall here. He is building a barracks. This is a little bit more traditional of a scouts build, a 20 pop scouts build, or a 19 pop scouts build actually. I mean, it's true, he's got 20 pop now, but it would have been 21 pop, actually. Sorry, with his scouts. So it's actually 21 pop scouts build, so it's a pretty standard build. Nowhere near as fast as Pesto's. But the Otter one doesn't have to do as much as Pesto, he just has to survive. And Pesto, he's queued up a couple of scout cavalry here, and he wants a piece of this. Now, his scout is really not that powerful. He's got a low attack rate, but he has a heavy initial attack. So it's a little bit like a Custilier in a way. But the scouts are going to be what challenges this. And the Otter one now knows that Purple knows that he's over here. So I actually think it was a little bit of a mistake if you're DJ Pesto to attack up here. Because now the Otter one is going to send his military up this way. And DJ Pesto, like this heavy swordsman is pathetic. He can't even fight that spearman. So he goes down to that, and now the Otter one knows to send a spearman up there because he knows that his opponent scouted it. So 1 scout has been created. We see it. The purple scout. Purple's probably going to wait for at least 2 more scouts to show up. There's 1 more scout, and then he's got... Well, I guess he's going to have to make do with what he has. He's got 2 scouts and a spearman. And the Otter one... he's continuing to hunt, I think. DJ Pesto wants to trick that spearman into attacking the spearman of his own. The villagers are going to fight the spearman. So DJ Pesto does not want to fight that spearman. The Otter one has scouts of his own. It's just not really value added, I feel like, for DJ Pesto to go lightning scouts here. He just, for whatever reason, he didn't get over here fast enough. He's got a minute of town center idle time. And the Otter one is just able to take this deer meat in peace. I don't know how he could only get 2 scouts out of that. That's kind of surprising to me. Maybe it was an experimental build with the Georgians. He was just kind of trying it out for the first time. Not sure. Okay, here's another scout here. This will be helpful. You can't really fight spearmen with scouts unless you outnumber them 3-1. And now he does outnumber them 3-1. So he could kill the spearman and then have 2 scouts, I think, left over to actually pick on villagers. But now he's worried about the Otter One's scouts. Now he is doing a decent job of walling. And he's tapping these to get the foundation started. And then he's going to build a couple of those. Okay, so he's got his foundations up. So he doesn't want the Otter One getting in. The Otter One is not going to get in. The Otter One's going to peck away at this wood line. But this is a decent wall off for DJ Pesto. His wall is complete. The Otter One's wall off is not complete. The Otter One is making another scout cavalry. Like, that's going to help. But you got to try. Maybe he wants to overpower DJ Pesto's military in the feudal age. DJ Pesto... Maybe he wants to go in. I'm not sure. I think he should go back here now. But actually there are now 2 spearmen, so he can't. He can't, really. The window of opportunity has passed. DJ Pesto with another scout. It's coming along, just passing. Oh no, the Otter One, not like this. The Otter One should just wall to the edge of the map here. Why is he walling back like this? He must not see it. Oh! Oh no! The Otter One. So he killed one scout. The Otter One is not... Or sorry, one spearman. The Otter One is not paying attention. He gets a villager. Is he going to get another villager? No. The Otter One's sending his military in now to chase this away, although it looks like the scout is going to try to pick a fight. And he does pick off that villager. Wow. So DJ Pesto does ultimately get 3 villager kills, but the Otter One is in on DJ Pesto, and DJ Pesto has to deal with this. He has a lumber camp out here, which is difficult to secure, so we're going to see some villagers going down on this side too, probably. I don't think he's got any spearmen. I don't think he's built anything. I think he forgot that the Otter One was working on this. And so what? DJ Pesto escapes. He manages to small wall that in, but no, he can't small wall the rest of it. So he loses 3 villagers. No, 2 villagers. DJ Pesto has ultimately killed 4 villagers, though. So he killed some villagers up here, and I don't know where the rest of the villagers are that he killed, but apparently he killed 2 more while we were watching over here. He's got a spearman out now. He's sending this villager back. Probably forgot about him. And he's going to have him rebuild this wall segment. So he's going to rebuild this wall segment, but the Otter One has done damage too. He's going to rebuild the wall segment and be happy about it, I guess. Or as happy as one can be about it. DJ Pesto building a mule cart. How do you build a mule? I can understand how you build a cart, but how do you build the mule? Somebody explain to me. Just keep it G-rated. Castle Age coming in for the Otter One. It's going to be Castle Age in about 25 seconds. DJ Pesto is not clicked up yet. The good news for DJ Pesto is that these players are starting relatively far apart. So he's not in risk of dying, per se. But being late to the Castle Age does carry the distinct disadvantage that the Otter One could get all of the relics. And guys, remember that in Alchemy League, relic victory, totally possible. Standard victory is enabled for Alchemy League. We want players to have options. Why would we limit the number of options that are available to win the game? And we've seen some good relic victories in the past. So the Otter One is not going for relics, though. He's going for Step Lancers. Step Lancers are a very annoying unit to deal with. They're harder to wall out than most units. But I don't think DJ Pesto knows about them. No, he doesn't. DJ Pesto going up to the Feudal Age. If he knew about these Step Lancers, he would probably be stonewalling right now. Yeah, here comes a Step Lancer. He's making more. He does have the 1 Scout Cavalry running around in the back of the Otter One's base. But he hasn't been over here in a while. He thinks that the Otter One is still Dark Age, or at least his town center looks like that. So I don't think he's seen the Step Lancers. He is double walling, though. He's nervous. He doesn't want these Step Lancers getting in. These Step Lancers have range. They can attack through stuff. So he's got to hurry up and get these walls up where the Step Lancers can get in. I would be building stone walls right now if I were DJ Pesto. Yeah, he does not want these Step Lancers getting in at all. So it was a good thing that he was on top of this, otherwise it could have ended in disaster for him. However, the Otter one's going to try to get in over here. DJ Pesto does have a villager, but the Otter one misclicking and he's actually attacking. Okay, he corrects it. He starts attacking this wall segment. No, DJ Pesto, no, not like this. He doesn't see it. The Otter one's going to get in again. This is his Achilles heel. He is, however, building a castle up here. Okay, he's worried about the Otter one's attack up here. This castle will secure his gold. The Step Lancers are just so fast. He's quick walling. It's not going to be enough, I don't think. He wants this castle to go up. Builds a fortified church as a quick wall. Quick wall after quick wall after quick wall. This Step Lancer's in. He just has to finish this castle. He's got a knight out here keeping the Step Lancer busy. Step Lancers are very good at killing villagers. They can reach over each other to reach a villager and peck them to death. And DJ Pesto's sending everybody to finish this castle. He's lost a ton of villagers. These Step Lancers are so annoying. They got in through this hole and they've done a ton of damage. And now all of these foundations are in the way. Step Lancers are killing villagers left and right. The castle will go up, but at what cost? DJ Pesto with 15 villagers left. Ouch. The Otter one with 43. This game is over. DJ Pesto calls the GG. Poor DJ Pesto. All he had to do was stonewall. But Step Lancer's very devastating and very appropriate for this map. So the Otter won with a big upset against DJ Pesto, winning 2 games despite being about 40 elo behind, according to our calculator. So relics were not a factor. They did not come into play here. Let's come back home. Alright, so I think those are some pretty good sets. The first one in particular was pretty back and forth, but the second one was like the tragedy of DJ Pesto. I think he was getting used to the maps. And that's okay. They are a little bit quirky. But he had some really unlucky moments. You know, his town center was late in the first game. He was 2 minutes behind. And then in the second game, the Otter one always seemed to be able to get through his walls and do damage in that way. And I think that his very fast scouts build didn't really work out for this map. Maybe it was just because he was so far away he wasn't able to get close fast enough, and that's what happened, is he wasn't able to do the damage because of that. Don't really know, but I do know that I'm looking forward to seeing both players in action throughout the rest of the league. So if you were here and you tuned in for the games, thank you for the support. Appreciate you guys checking out Alchemy League, and hopefully I will see you again soon for another cast.